I'm at Southlands Valley Vineyard with the owner, Sarah Lavery. Sarah, I wonder if you can tell me a little bit about what happens here.
Well, it's a 5-acre site, about 7,000 vines, and we should produce on a good year about 10 tonnes of grapes, which translates into 7,000 or maybe even 8,000 bottles of lovely English sparkling wine. The trick is to make sure the grapes all ripen, and to do that we need to make sure the canopies are kept neat so that the grapes are nice and dry, they can see the sun, diseases can't linger. And if the canopies get out of control, then we'll have grapes which aren't sweet enough. And on top of that, we've got the weather.
Jesus often used stories with settings that his audience would know. Like us, they could imagine what life was like in a vineyard. This is our version of the story he told, and you realise that our owner is Sarah, who really does own this vineyard. This story can only be found in Matthew's Gospel. As far as possible, we use the words written there, but with our own commentary on its meaning. For the kingdom of heaven is like a landowner who went out early in the morning to hire labourers for his vineyard. These were the keen ones, the best workers, the first workers. After agreeing with the labourers for the usual daily wage, he sent them into his vineyard. The usual daily wage was a denarius, a single coin, worth about 7 pence. When he went out about 9 o'clock, he saw others standing idle in the marketplace, and he said to them, "You also go into the vineyard, and I will pay you whatever is right." So they went. This group of workers assumed that they'd be paid for the hours they actually worked. There were a good few hours to sunset. But the owner of the vineyard needed more workers. It was a good harvest. When he went out again about noon and about 3 o'clock, he did the same. And about 5 o'clock he went out and found others standing around. And he said to them, "Why are you standing here idle all day?" And they said to him, "Because no one has hired us." He said to them, "You also go into the vineyard." When evening came, the owner of the vineyard said to his manager, "Call the labourers and give them their pay, beginning with the last and then going to the first." When those hired about 5 o'clock came, each of them received the usual daily wage. Now when the first came, they thought they would receive more, but each of them also received the usual daily wage. And when they received it, they grumbled against the landowner, saying, "These last have worked only 1 hour, and you have made them equal to us, who have borne the burden of the day and the scorching heat." But he replied to one of them, "Friend, I am doing you no wrong. Did you not agree with me for the usual daily wage? Take what belongs to you and go. I choose to give to this last the same as I give to you. Am I not allowed to do what I choose with what belongs to me? Or are you envious because I am generous?" So the last will be first, and the first will be last. It's a parable of the kingdom. By God's grace, those who are the latest to find faith are as welcome in God's kingdom as the first. Those who became Christians early and have laboured in the vineyard during the heat of the day receive no more and no less. They receive as God's gift eternal life. And that's a gift beyond price, a gift that cannot be bought, the gift of God's love in this life and the next and forever. Stand by to mark it. Mark it.
Scene 3, shot 13, reverse, take 1.
Keep them quiet. Okay, mark it.
Scene 11, shot 29, take 1.
Right. We have scene 10 and M, take 1. Action.